In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you 10 brand new beginner Diabolo tricks. Hey guys, I am Marco from Spyros Bros, and I'm a Diablo master for 13 years, and today we'll be teaching you 10 brand new beginner Diablo tricks that are much cooler and a bit more complex. To learn these tricks much faster, we'll be using our own signature triple bearing Diabolo to provide longer lasting spin on your tricks. You can get one by clicking the link in our description. The first trick we will learn is the Eiffel Tower. Even though the Eiffel Tower shape in the strings is upside down, it is still a pretty cool trick, and many beginner Diabloists love to learn this trick. The best way to enter this trick is by doing a reverse catch, also known as Duacide, or just have your strings crossed. Once your strings are crossed, bring your dominant hand and stick to the other side of the string on your non-dominant hand and lay it there. Next, take your non-dominant stick and bring it downwards towards your non-dominant side. Then bring it around both sides of the strings. Bring it to the back and then back in front. Once you're at this stage, all you have to do is lift your non-dominant stick upwards and slightly towards your non-dominant side to achieve the Eiffel Tower. To exit, slide the strings down and you can exit with a cross-arm tossing catch or a spider web. You can also do the Eiffel Tower without having your strings crossed. But to exit, do the inverse of how you wrap the strings into the Eiffel Tower or slide it down and do a sun out towards your dominant side. Make sure your Eiffel Tower is big enough so that it's visible for your audience to see. The trick is pointless if the Eiffel Tower is too small or if you stretch out the Eiffel Tower too much and it becomes more of a Y shape instead. The second trick is a stall called Look Up the Moon. This trick is great for poses and a fundamental trick for the around the world. To start this trick, make sure that the stick on your dominant hand is turned to align with your Diabolo axle. The bottom of your stick should be pointing towards your non-dominant side, and the top of the stick should be facing your dominant side. Next, place your stick on the Diabolo axle and lift your non-dominant hand up and away to stretch out the string. Use the part of the stick that is in between the center and the top leg here to place on the Diabolo axle. Then bring your stick and Diabolo up to eye level and hold it there for 1 to 3 seconds. Then bring it back down to exit. Here are some more detailed pointers when doing Look Up the Moon. Your stick needs to be aligned with your Diabolo axle, otherwise unexpected errors will happen. Any other extreme side of the stick shouldn't be used to place on the Diabolo axle because it will either change the Diabolo axis or your hand will get in the way. Lastly, when bringing the Diabolo up, your hand should mimic a seesaw effect. The higher your Diabolo is brought up, the lower your other hand should go down. Think of it like a clock here to understand it better. Your hand should be at exact opposite ends in doing the stall, or 6 hours apart on the clock. For example, if you bring your Diabolo up at 12 o'clock, your other hand should be at 6 o'clock. And if your Diabolo is at 10 o'clock, then your other hand should be at 4. Once you got the handle of this, it is time to use Look Up the Moon to follow up with Around the World. The third trick we will learn is Around the World. First, do your Look Up the Moon stall. What you will do next is let go of your stick so that your Diabolo and stick can drop and swing together towards your non-dominant side. Swing it around in a circle and finally catch the stick when it drops at eye level. Here are some pointers for Around the World that you will need to help you achieve the trick more. You need the right amount of swinging power when doing the trick. Swing at whatever power is most comfortable for you. But too much power can make it harder for you to catch the stick. Same as if you were to swing it very weak. Do not catch the bottom of the stick either. It will risk the chances of you catching the stick. Catch the part of the stick above the cushion handle or the top of the stick to land the trick cleaner. When you get good with Around the World, you can try more variations of Around the World to step it up like this. After a single Around the World, you can try to go for double Around the World. For the double version, make sure you swing with much more power on the first Around the World before you get to the second one and lessen the power a little so you can catch your stick to finish the trick. Here's another crucial variation for Around the World. In this one, after you hit the Look Up the Moon stall, you will go with the momentum by pushing it up so it can go around the other way. Use the power of your swinging momentum to get the Diabolo and stick to go around in this version. When you want to finish, all you will do is decrease the swing power when it's about to pass your body and let the swing still continue. The swinging should stop and then drop once it is above eye level. Catch the stick right before it drops again. Another way to end this is to change the direction of the swinging and proceed back to the original around the world. You will need that variation of around the world because it is the one you will use for Vertex around the world in the future. The fourth trick we will learn is the suicide trick. I suggest you learn half suicide first before doing this trick, since the half suicide is a slower step-by-step trick that precedes the full suicide. In the suicide trick, you won't be using a trapeze this time. This time, you will be doing a sun while your stick is let go and swung. First, swing the Diabolo from your dominant side to your non-dominant side, or swing the Diabolo to your non-dominant side from the unlooping of your accelerating. With that momentum, wait for the Diabolo to swing up to shoulder level and let go of your dominant stick once it reaches that height. The stick should swing around while doing the Diabolo sun, and catch the top of the stick, or better yet, the string once it reaches chest level. Here are important pointers when doing the suicide trick. Your non-dominant hand will be the main hand in utilizing the swinging and sun in the suicide trick. Use that hand to keep the Diabolo in the strings. You can bring the stick on your non-dominant hand close to the string, the one closest to your swing stick, to slow down and decrease the size of the suicide, making it a more controlled suicide. Then you can gradually increase the size of your suicide and it should look like this. The fifth trick is the Duacide. Suicide is letting go of one stick, and Duacide is letting go of both sticks and Diabolo in the air and then catching your whole Diabolo set. A great trick that you can practice to get you into Duacide is the files. Files is in fact a half Duacide. And here is the full Duacide. The best way to execute the Duacide is to throw it up at your dominant side. To start, choose whether you want to throw your whole set in the air with both hands or one hand. Let's start learning Duacide. First, do a trapeze with your non-dominant hand, then swing it back to your dominant side but let it swing above your eye level. Once it reaches eye level, release both sticks. The sticks will orbit around the Diabolo while it's in the air, and simply catch it by the strings or the top of the sticks. The sixth trick is one of the easier but pretty fun ones to play with. I like to call this the dream catcher. It involves two tricks to complete this: a spider web and a magic knot that comes from sliding the string into one of your sticks here, and finishing with a toss and catch. First, get into your spider web, also known as the cat's cradle. Next, what you will do is take one of your sticks, either one, and use the string closest to the tip of the stick to lay it on the other stick. Then, you will slide your stick and string down like this. Once you're at this position, what you will do finally is push the Diabolo up in the air out of the magic knot and then catch it again. The seventh trick is Vertex Golden Finger. You will do Golden Finger and tilt the axis to Vertex with your fingers. Even though it is still not considered Vertex Diabolo, it is definitely a trick that can be used to transition into a Vertex Diabolo routine like here. Just get medium spin on your Diabolo when first doing this trick. Do your Golden Finger, but this time use these part of your fingers to do the Golden Finger. Those will be used to tilt the Diabolo axis. Move the middle finger outward slowly, and the Diabolo should start tilting and go into Vertex Golden Finger. Hold it there for a while. To bring it back to normal axis, all you will do is slowly move your middle finger inwards. You can also decide whether to wrap your strings around the axles to go into Vertex, or just post with it. Important pointer, do not use any part of the finger deeper, and do not spin the Diabolo too hard for this trick, because the Diabolo axle can hurt or burn your fingers when trying to tilt it. The eighth trick is the umbrella. The trick visually shows that it is similar to the movement of the zigzag acceleration, except the umbrella does its left to right movements above the sticks. To start this trick, all you will do is practice doing suns back and forth. Do a sun that will end at your dominant side first, then do the reverse bringing it back to the other side, and repeat the process. Always remember to keep the process at a steady and consistent rhythm. To step it up, stall the Diabolo at a slightly higher point. For example, we did the first step landing the Diabolo at 6 o'clock. Now let's try to stall the suns at 5 or 7 o'clock. Gradually increase the height of both ends until they reach around 3 and 9 o'clock. At this point, start lengthening the umbrella. Once you have all these pointers down, you should have achieved the umbrella trick. The 9th trick is behind the back toss and catch. This trick is very simple, but is considered quite impressive and a bit scary since you will catch and land the Diabolo behind you. Toss the Diabolo in the air, but slightly towards the back. Then use the same method in catching the Diabolo. Catch it above eye level where you can still see the Diabolo fall on the strings. But your arms and shoulders should be slightly behind your head. Always keep your eye up on the Diabolo for the catch. Once you catch the Diabolo, relax your strings and arms and the Diabolo should end up deep in the strings behind your back. To exit, bring the Diabolo in front by doing a big sun from the back of you to in front of you. If you want to practice the exit of the behind the back toss and catch, you can practice it by bringing the Diabolo and strings in back of you. It should go past between your ear and elbow. Then proceed to the big sun from in back to the front. Once you got all these steps down, you should be able to land the behind the back toss and catch. The 10th and last but not least trick is what I like to call the cow jumps over the sun. The trick consists of a behind the back toss and catch and washi jump. While you're bringing the sun back in front, face the side where your sun is heading. Next, once your sun is heading towards your feet, proceed to the washi jump trick. You can slowly do step-by-step practicing by stepping over the sun instead, and then bring the Diabolo back to the front by doing the big sun from the back to the front. Then go for the washi jump when you're comfortable with the step over method. Once you get the hang of it, try to do the whole trick more fluidly and should look like this. In the next tutorial, we're going to teach you trick combos like these.